We're live on a Monday evening. Sorry, a bit late today, but we have a few errands to take care of. And anyway, I would like to and will eventually give you a set time that I come on here so you can plan ahead of time and have the children perhaps eat a little bit later, pick the kids up in time so you can watch me because I know I'm a priority in your life. Okay, so let's get to the headlines. Few things going on. April traditionally is like a dead month, but there are some things taking place. I go on SF Gate just because there's a lack of internet presence here in the Bay Area in terms of news, right? We don't have many paper. We have the Mercury, which is okay, I guess. East Bay Times, which is really the Mercury. And then you have the Chronicle, which is SF Gate. No matter how many times they like to say that we're competitors. Yeah, right. So if you go to SF Gate on Monday, they have a story, which is really not a story. It's not even a feature story. It's a device which this reporter, I guess he's trying to kiss Bob Fitzgerald, who's the Warriors' alleged TV play-by-play broadcaster on NBC Bay Area. And I'm saying to myself, well, there's again no story. It's feature, it's filler. You don't see much about Bob Fitzgerald other than if he's being lampooned or criticized. And I'm not talking constructive criticism. I'm talking downright criticism because he's such a nothing. And the Warriors press corps, which there's considerable reporters, they're not going to call him out because they're part of the entire, the non-critical ones. And this guy is complete schmuck, a complete and total fraud, and whose only reason being there is because the owner, Joe Lacob, and Steph Curry have sympathy for him over a personal tragedy that took place about a decade ago. Okay. And he is detested, is Bob Fitzgerald, by everybody. I've never heard anybody say, boy, that guy's great. You know who loves him? Or corporate ones. People who like somebody who stays within the boundaries. It's not going to harm anybody. I'm talking obviously with words or spoken word here. He's just nothing. He's not befitting Fitzgerald of a world championship team in the NBA like the Warriors. He's a lackey. He's a kiss ass. He is a loudmouth. He's smarmy. He's arrogant. He's got that, they call him, his critics, they call him Rudy. Remember the movie Rudy? The little guy, remember, made it onto the Notre Dame football team. They let him go into a game that didn't mean anything. He was about 5'5", may not even have been that tall. This is Rudy personified, a little schmuck with a Napoleon syndrome and who is arrogant. Now, I'm not going to talk about other things. I don't care about his dating and his associations with various people in terms of his personal life. I'm not going to go there. I don't have to go there. I'm talking specifically about the manner in which he broadcasts Warriors games. The other guy, at least, who can't shut up, they're annoying. They're like little wasps that wasp around, and you can't get rid of them. And this is what you have. The number one wasp is Bob Fitzgerald. He's smarmy and arrogant and he's not a very good person. He's an asshole. Quote me if I have to say that. So anyway, Wanted to get that on the, I guess, the SF gate on a Monday has to think of a few things to kiss the tuchus of this mutt. Okay, so we'll go away from that. Um, this caught my attention, came to me from a source out of Dallas who knows what the hell he's talking about because he's given me information in the past that is quite accurate. It seems that Audacy, now they're the company owned by Intercom, the radio company that has two stations here, 95.7 The Game, and they own KCBS. Okay. And they're making deals now with the various people that they choose to fire, let go, dismiss. The game is this: if you really weren't intending to get fired, they will make it a lot easier for you in terms of your compensation on the way out the door. If you express publicly that you're quitting, yeah, but you really just want to look for those very lengthy and widely used phrases like, I'm going to pursue other opportunities. I had a great time here. Guess what? If you do that, you kind of play ball with them, then they're going to give you a really nice compensation package out the door. If you don't do that, then they're not going to be so nice to you. So when you hear about people who always say, well, I'm going to pursue other opportunities, take it with a grain of salt, folks. And again, you will not get this, what I'm telling you right now, in the, speaking of the Chronicle, SF Gate. They never give you the reason. They basically go with the press release crap that companies give to make it look as if everything was smooth, transition's fine, bye bye, take care, give us your card key, you're dismissed. Now, look, on the face of it, that's not a bad deal. Give you a few extra bucks, you get not a golden parachute, but you get some respectable severance, that kind of a thing. Okay. Why not just say that? Just say and not have to threaten your own employees. Well, I guess now they're no longer your employees. They're fired, laid off, goodbye. And believe me, you're going to see a lot more of this taking place because, like Cumulus, Audacy, which is owned by Intercom, which is now owned by the Soros. Yes, that's Soros, the son of the way, way lefty, uh, the guy that is incredibly wealthy, billionaire, and funds these far out left wing. There's extremes on both sides of the aisle. There's left wing, there's right wing, and then in the middle there's centrist. Anyway, these Soros group. So as radio becomes more irksome and the business of radio gets a lot more terse and tense, you're going to see a lot of these. Finally, got somebody asking me about the situation at KCBS with Brett Burkhart and Steve Scott. Now, Steve Scott took over, not officially, for Patty Rising, who retired a couple of weeks ago. And, well, I'm told, and this is quite evident, Burkhart is very mum. Is mum. He's not saying anything. He's not even saying anything to his private. Well, he might be talking to his wife or family members, but he hasn't indicated anything. I'm still told he wants that job. He has it, the afternoon drive position. But they did schlep, and this was a distinctive hire by Jenny Seelig, who brought this guy out from New York to the Bay Area, Steve Scott. Probably first and foremost, he's a man. She only hires women. Talk about reverse discrimination. In any event, Scott might be the latest to say, okay, I'll consider it. Because they haven't made a formal announcement yet. I'm hearing that nothing's been decided. I had also heard that Burkhart had that position. Maybe they feel like a lot of other people, myself included, that he just doesn't have it to be a solo anchor at KCBS during the very important PM drive. But I give up on that radio station. They have so much turmoil, so many issues. The whack-a-mole anchors, reporters here, reporters there. Sometimes we get a solo anchor. Sometimes we get two anchors out of the blue. The rotating revolving door midday. Sometimes it's Holly Kwan. She's got one foot out the door too, which wouldn't be such a bad thing. I think she's kind of jumped the shark. So nothing is set in stone other than a few other things, the traffic positions, things like that. There's a few traffic anchors in the morning, but it fluctuates so much. And folks, when you don't have any leadership and when you don't have anybody who really truly cares about the organization, in this case, that radio station, then how the heck can you have stability? So, having said all that, glad you're able to join me on a Monday. Take care, and we will be back, God willing, on Tuesday. Why am I talking right now like Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? I have no idea, but I'm trying to see. It was just a little finagle, a little ad lib, and it seemed to have worked because I know a lot of you are laughing. That's my impression of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Okay, see you later.